So now we're going to skin the geometry to the joints. I'm going to select my root first, and then I'm going to shift select my body, my geometry, and I'm going to go to smooth bind. And what I found that works really well with this guy, because of the way he is modeled and designed, is heat map. There are lots of different ways: geodesic, voxel, heat map, closest in hierarchy. We're going to go with heat map, and the skinning method will do dual quaternion. Normalized weights will be interactive, weight distribution will be distance, and max influence will be 2. And that allows for it to be a little bit sharper. And heat map fall off will be 0.68. And I'm going to bind skin. Now I've already gone through and I have added some animation to this character. So what you'll see is the first thing I animate is the leg. And what I'm looking for is nice deformations at the joints. So right here it's nice and sharp. This is pretty sharp, and this is pretty sharp. It's a little bit gooey, but that's more because of the design. So then the next thing I do is I'm going to animate the arm up and down. So in this case, let's just go through here. I will animate the clavicle up, and then I will animate the shoulder even further. And you see a little bit of deformation going on underneath, and we need to clean that up. And then we're going to animate it all the way down. And again, what we see is as the arm is going down, it's pushing the skin in. That shouldn't be happening. This should have a little bit of intersection there. And I bring it back up. Next, I'm going to check my fingers and make sure my fingers are okay. So we look at my thumb, and the thumb has a nice sharpness right here. These fingers should probably be negative, so something like this. So that's looking good. If I want, I can give it some spread, pinky spread, okay. And then maybe bring that back to 0. Okay. Then I haven't done the head yet, but I'll look at the body, and it deforms quite nicely. Might want to even push it a little bit further. Right, see what happens, but it looks pretty good. It's got some nice deformations going on. And bring it back. So usually it's like to the side. Check it out, which is not bad. So it's side, forward, back up again. And then I'm going to check my elbow here and see how this deforms. And it's got a little bit of a rubbery look right here, so I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fix that. And then I might want to check out my wrist. So turning this, okay, then turn it back. Alright, so I'm gonna just check everything first. I know I need to fix under the arm. I want to fix the elbow. My leg is actually looking good. Before I even do that, I'm going to let's just turn these off. I'm going to grab this right here, which is the back 3 joint. I'm going to grab the neck, and I need to grab the head joint right here. So I'm grabbing back, neck, head, and I'm going to then select my head geometry here, and I'm going to smooth bind it. And instead of joint hierarchy, I'm going to say selected joints. I only want those 3 joints to influence everything, and I can keep everything else the same. Alright, And now what I'll do is I'm just going to test this, and it deforms a little bit. It's squishy, so that's not what I want. The head is a bit squishy. Alright, I can even test the neck here. That's not bad. Okay, so I want to check this. I want to make sure that it doesn't squish. So what I'm going to do is, there's a couple of ways to paint skin weights. There's actual painting the skin weights, but I'm going to use a simpler method. I'm going to go to vertex, and I'm going to select every single vertex right here. Now what is happening is skinning a weight actually affects the vertices. Alright? Each joint will influence a vertex. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to go to component editor, and right now it's 0.5 influence from the neck joint. I don't want that. I just want it to be the head joint. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to press 1. And what that does is it says make the head joint the only influencer on those vertices. And now I have a very sharp kind of skinning method. Okay, that's looking good. And let's just look at how the joints influence the vertices. We'll go to another video, and then we'll come back to this, and we'll finish this one up. So let's look at what's happening with the weights and the skinning. All right. So let's just start with this. I'm gonna grab this joint right here, and I'm gonna grab my geometry here, and I'm gonna say skin, and we can do joint. Alright, we'll do what we've been doing, and we're gonna do max influences of 2. So bind skin, and we're gonna see that we've got it going on here. So first off, this is gonna move everything because this is the parent, right? The more interesting one will be this one right here. So what's happening is this geometry here if I'll just has a vertex, and right now each vertex, this vertex, this vertex is going to be moved by the joints. So if this joint right here is influencing this joint right here, you're going to see it move fully like that, right? So let's just look at how this is actually set up. So you have a vertex like this one. If it's 0.5 on this one and 0.5 on this one, it's not going to move exactly according to this joint right here. So you can see here that it's not moving at all. That's because it's being influenced by this joint, not this joint. All right? And what we call this is weight normalization. So all weights for a vertex to a joint are going to be normalized to 1, and that's why we do interactive, because it automatically normalizes everything to 1. So let's just look at what that means. So if vertex A, let's say this one right here, is influenced by a weight of 0.6, then it will be influenced from joint 1, then joint 2 will give it a weight of 0.4. So 0.6 and 0.4 equal 1. And another example would be if our vertex B right here is weighted 0.3 to joint 1, then it would need to be 0.7 to join 2. And then let's say this is vertex C, and it has a weight of 0.41, then to equal 1, it would be 0.59. And in the component editor, it will automatically update this to 1. Now that's if there's 2 influences, but there could be 3, 4, 5 influences. Keeping it simple can make it quite easy. So if you have something with 3 influences, vertex D, like let's say this one right here, has 0.2 from joint 1, 0.5 from joint 3, and 0.3 from joint 3. 0.5 from joint 2 and 0.3 from joint 3. So it's going to be influenced by 3 different joints. Let's look at how this might actually look. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to move it like this. Oops. I'll go here and I'm going to move it. Alright. So I'm going to grab this vertex right here and you're going to see component editor, and you'll see joint 1, which is this one, is influencing these two vertex 2 and vertex 3, 0.98, 0.97, and joint 2 right here is influencing it only 0.02 with a total of 1. Now we can change this, so let's look at it. This is how it's looking now. I can go here and say 0.5, and you see how it starts to move, and now it bends in. I can even do it 0.9, and you can see how that influence is changing. So this joint right here, joint 2, is now influencing at 0.9, so it's pushing it back. We do 0.99, it's even further. Right? This could be 0.9, and then it's just a little bit. Now I might want to go here. I want this to bend a bit more, so I change it around 0.9, so it pulls it as if it's pulling skin. So that's how the influences of the joints work. You see that I keep the max influences to 2, or sorry, yeah, to 2, and that's because it's easier to imagine 3 different weights, but depending on the situation, you might go up to 3. Alright, so we're going to go in here and we're going to start fixing this part. Alright, so let's go to the vertexes here. Let's make sure we grab all 3 of these, and let's see what might be influencing it. There's the scapula, there's the shoulder, and then there's root, back 1, back 2, back 3. So that would be back 3. So again, I'm going to go to my component editor, and I'm going to go here, and I can see I have quite a few things that might be going on, and I want this to be back 3. So I'm going to say 0.9 to back 3. So now, when it comes in, there's still a little bit of bouncing, but very little, and it's a lot sharper when the arm comes in. Boom. Okay. Now I can do the other side if I want, or I can. We're gonna actually mirror the weights from one side to the other, so we only need to do 1/2 of this. All right. So let's look at these ones right here, and that's scapula and joint. So it's only a little bit, it's mostly the arm right here. Let's just do 0.99. There we go. Okay. Just keep that little bit of influence. Alright, now let's look at the arm here. So I want this to be a little bit sharper, which means this right here I don't want the elbow to influence. Alright, so I go here and I say 0.99, and then these three right here. So right now it's mostly elbow. Let's do this as 0.1 and see what it looks like. 0.4. Ah, looks better. But let's go all the way to 0.5. Even better. So it gives this nice sharper kind of elbow squish. There we go. Less rubbery. Okay. So that's not bad. Now the other thing is, I see here as I rotate my arm, I feel like I could have a little bit of more influence here from this joint. So its elbow joint is 0.98 for almost all of it. So these ones, I want them to rotate a little bit. It feels like this is moving more than this one. So I'm going to do 0.1. Nope. 0.3. Ooh, I want even more. 0.4. Alright. So then it's, and then this one, I'm going to put it on my radius, which is this one, 0.1, and humerus is going to be 0. I don't want this one influencing it at all. So now you see it's just smoothing this out. Before it was too much on this and not enough influence from my radius control on those two. So that looks a lot better. Yeah. Alright. My fingers are looking pretty good. It's always good to test your fingers individually, or at least like this, because you never know if some of the influences from the other joints. But that's what the heat map is quite good at. It used to be a lot more difficult than this. Alright, it's looking good. So the arm's okay. The body's looking alright. The head is done. So now what we can do is we can mirror the weight from one side to the other. So I'm going to go here, skin, mirror skin weights, and I'm going to go from positive x to positive, so YZ here, but positive negative x, so from positive to negative. And I like ray cast, I think it's the best, and closest joint, and you can even say 1 to 1. Okay, and we should have interactive normalization turned on. So we can check this by going in here and seeing how does the elbow bend. It bends exactly the way it should. How does the arm work? It bends without those three vertices are perfect. Alright, can check our leg. And everything's looking good. So the skin looks done.